My story kind of started when I was, I don't know, preteen, if you will. I was pretty antisocial to the point that I got taken out of senior kindergarten and was homeschooled for several years. I didn't play well with others, but played very well at video games. I was taught how to self-medicate with food as a means to feel better on any time I wasn't feeling good. I ended up meeting a girl. She told me that I would look better, or she might like it a little bit better if I had lost a little bit more weight. And so, like any kid in their preteens, took that very much to heart. I started to lose weight very much the unhealthy way. I ate like a piece of chicken and an apple a day. I would go for a 2-hour run and, for lack of a better word, hated myself to the point of losing 60 pounds over the course of 6 months or something like that. She ended up breaking up with me anyways and ripping the heart out of my chest regardless. But by then the ball was already rolling. I continued to then train in my dad's basement, working on trying to do just one body weight pull-up. I couldn't even do that. Working on just trying to do push-ups and just kind of do some bench press on the bench that we had in the basement. Minimal equipment, nothing too fancy. And so from there, I then kind of started to read. I became, attached to that idea that I could make myself better, and I just had to lift weights repeatedly and then things would get better. And as that kept happening, then I would keep reading and educating myself and picking up whatever information I could in terms of how many sets should I be doing, what kind of protein should I be eating, when and who and how, and all of that kind of stuff. And I've been very much self-taught even since then. At first, I started as just a membership sales guy. I was just getting people through the door, getting them signed up with a membership, and I didn't really talk to them again after that. So I didn't feel like I had much handle over how their progress went. There were a few people that it was really nice that I got them in and I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm really changing this person's life and this is their day one of their fitness journey. And then there were other people that I just felt like I was just selling them a membership and I knew that they were not going to be in here in the next 10 months and I was just taking their money. I got tired of that, wanted to then leave being a salesperson. I was like, okay, well, screw it. I guess I'll go back to computers or literally anything but this. I had a manager at the time who was like, whoa, I know your fitness story here, you turned a frown upside down, you were a chubby kid, went through all that stuff, turned into a fitness guy, and now this is your passion, why don't you try being a personal trainer? So I did that. I tried being a personal trainer for about 3 years that I was there. I helped some people way more than I was as a membership sales guy. I got my hands on people. I felt like I had much more of a direct influence on how their lives were gonna go. And I had a whole lot more people who would look me in the eye and be like, my life is forever different because of something that you've done. And whoa, that feels better than a big paycheck. And it was at that point that I started to brand myself. I came out with a Foot Above Fitness. I had the logo, the arrow. And so I started to make some t-shirts with my brand on it. I figured, okay, well, if I'm building my own business, is what they would tell us at this big box facility. If I'm building my own business, then I may as well have a logo. I may as well have a branding. I may as well try and do some of that stuff. And then I got some pushback. I got told by one of the higher ups that if I'm selling shirts that don't have their logo on it, it's my own logo, that could be against the contract and blah, 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 blah. Instantly, I felt the glass ceiling. I was like, oh, wait a sec. I still work for this corporation. I'm under their brand or their logo, and I just didn't want any of that anymore. And so that's when I kind of knew, okay, this is not where I'm going to be for forever. I knew that I loved fitness, but I did not like the environment and the atmosphere that facility had. And so I looked around and I couldn't find that perfect combination of the two. Anywhere that was a percentage-based model was a beautiful facility, nice place, change room, showers, all that kind of stuff, looked great, but it was a percentage. Regardless of what that percentage was, it was a percentage. The best I found was a 70-30 split, 70 to the trainer, 30 to the house, and that was as good as I could get it. Then I went to the other side, and then I found some places that would do flat rate rent for the month, but that flat rate rent came with a facility that you couldn't walk somebody into. I had clients who were used to that big box facility, and so you gotta come in and there has to be lights. It can't be in the basement. It can't be a dungeon. It has to have equipment that's kept up and the pads aren't tearing apart and it needs to be presentable. So I could find then the flat rate rent, ugly gym, or I could find a beautiful gym and that was a percentage. So I hung my head in shame. I was like, I guess it's only gonna be as good as it's gonna be at this big box facility. Then I kind of had like the aha moment in that one of the clients, one of the other trainers at the facility, heard I was trying to get off on my own, approached me and said, okay, well, I think there might be a space that you might be interested in. He walked me into here and it was it. Walking in here, I knew like this has to be a gym. This space was a martial arts studio before I got in here. And so like change room, showers, all that stuff was done. Fit up wasn't bad. Sure, there was a bunch of equipment to buy, but that I cashed out some Bitcoin for and kind of made all that happen. We've got some trainers who are ready to be on board to be trainers in this facility. And there are a ton of people who this is crucial for their mental health. And that like, I have people who would not be able to survive without this place. I have letters from therapists, doctors, all manners of stuff. And it has certainly made it very apparent to me how important this place was. And I don't think, had it not been for everything that's happened in the last 20 months, I don't think I would have seen how valuable this place really is. So at least a little bit of silver lining that brought me to where I am right now.